He lied about worthless penny stocks, made millions, and served only 22 months in prison. Then Hollywood turned his crimes into a blockbuster. This is the story of Jordan Belfort, the man who sold America a dream, destroyed thousands of lives, and somehow became even more famous after getting caught. Long before Wall Street, Jordan was already learning how to sell. As a teenager in Queens, he and a friend carried coolers of Italian ice across a crowded beach. By the end of one summer, they had reportedly made $20,000. Most teenagers would have spent it. Jordan treated it as proof that he was built to become rich. He later enrolled in dental school. But on his first day, the dean warned the students that dentistry was no longer a path to easy wealth. Jordan stood up and left. He was not searching for a profession. He was searching for the fastest route to money. That search brought him to Wall Street. Jordan joined a legitimate brokerage firm and learned how brokers controlled a conversation and how confidence could sound exactly like knowledge. Then the market crashed in 1987 and he lost his job. But the crash pushed him towards something more profitable: penny stocks. These were cheap, risky shares in tiny companies that serious investors usually ignored. The companies were weak, but brokers could earn enormous commissions. Jordan realized something dangerous. The customer did not need to understand the company. The customer only needed to believe the story. So he called strangers and sold them certainty. He told them they were getting in before Wall Street noticed. He told them the price could explode. He told them hesitation was the only thing standing between them and wealth. The company might have had no real future, but Jordan's voice made success sound inevitable. Soon, he created Stratton Oakmont. The name sounded old, respected, and powerful. In reality, it became a high-pressure sales operation filled with inexperienced recruits trained to follow Jordan's script. They were not taught to analyze companies. They were taught to close. They called ordinary people, retirees, workers, and families looking for a better future, and sold them stocks Stratton secretly controlled. Then came the trick. Stratton's brokers pushed the same stock to hundreds of customers. All that buying drove the price higher. As the numbers climbed, it appeared that Jordan had been right. But at the top, Stratton sold its own shares. The insiders got rich. The price collapsed, and the customers were left holding stock that was suddenly almost worthless. This was a pump and dump scheme. At Stratton Oakmont, it was not an accident. It was the business model. The money transformed the office into a circus of drugs, parties, luxury cars, and screaming salesmen. Jordan became less like a broker and more like a cult leader. He preached that money was freedom, winning was everything, and anyone who questioned the system lacked ambition. But every yacht, mansion, and expensive suit had another side. Someone had lost retirement money. Someone had invested savings meant for their children. Someone had trusted a confident voice on the telephone and unknowingly paid for Jordan's lifestyle. Eventually, regulators and federal investigators pulled the operation apart. Former employees cooperated. Financial records exposed hidden money. The calls that built the empire became evidence against it. Jordan pleaded guilty to securities fraud and money laundering. He faced years in prison, but once again, he made a deal. He cooperated with authorities and helped build cases against people who had worked beside him. He was sentenced to 4 years. He served 22 months. And this should have been the end of the Wolf of Wall Street. Instead, prison gave him a second product to sell: his own story. His prison companion, comedian Tommy Chong, encouraged him to write it down. In 2007, he published The Wolf of Wall Street. Jordan turned the fraud, drugs, yacht, and collapse into a memoir. Hollywood bought it. Martin Scorsese directed it. Leonardo DiCaprio played Jordan. The film became a global hit. Millions watched him cheat, lie, and destroy lives. And many viewers did not leave hating him. They wanted his confidence, his money, his power, his ability to make everyone believe. The victims remained mostly invisible. They received no glamorous film, speaking tour, or applause. Jordan was ordered to pay more than $100 million in restitution, while controversy over the unpaid amount followed him for years. Meanwhile, the man who had sold false success became a motivational speaker and sales coach. That may be the most disturbing part. Jordan Belfort's first fortune came from convincing strangers to buy a fantasy. His second came from convincing the world that the fantasy was his life, not their loss. He lied about worthless stocks, made millions, served 22 months, and became a legend. But perhaps the Wolf of Wall Street was never really about how Jordan Belfort escaped justice. It was about how easily crime becomes entertainment when the criminal is charismatic enough.